Good morning. This is Mike Houston with your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Sunday. Looking at our weather impact summary, we will expect to see some decreasing snow across the central mountains today. It looks like they've had the brunt of their fun with this system. The precipitation will be translating through the Snake River Plain and progressing into the eastern mountains, and where we'll see snow continuing in that region through this evening. And then we are expecting a mix of rain and from Burley up through Pocatello, and then a mix of rain and snow from Blackfoot northward through the remainder of the Snake River Plain. We may even see some pockets of freezing rain this morning. And then our next round of storms are expected sometime late Thursday into Friday and running into the weekend. Here we are looking at satellite imagery this morning. We have a low-pressure system now advancing east through northern California and Oregon. See plenty of moisture spreading up into southeast Idaho. And then a little further north, we have another disturbance working south and east through the Canadian Rockies. These two systems will merge today and progress off to the south and east later this evening. Took a quick snapshot of our radar at 1:30 this morning, which showed the precipitation basically working up through northeast Nevada into central Idaho. At this time, most of the precipitation was ongoing across the Central Mountains, Sun Valley, on up into the Arco region. As I'm talking to you right now, this band of precipitation now is working into the Pocatello area. So it'll be sweeping east pretty quickly today. Looks like we picked up anywhere from 4 to 9 inches here within the Central Mountains as of estimated as of 5 a.m. this morning. And we'll begin to see some accumulations between now and 5 a.m. with maybe 1 to 3 inches here across the eastern highlands, with more to come through the day and this evening. And we do expect to see some impacts today, especially across the eastern highlands here, where we have advisories out, and ongoing impacts here across the central mountains, where the tail end of the storm is already beginning to exit that region. Will take a little while to clear out some of that snow and for things to begin to settle down and clear out overnight tonight. As I mentioned, we do have winter weather advisories out here in the central mountains. They're good through 2 p.m. today. We should see snow accumulations beginning to tail off here pretty quickly later this morning. Winter weather advisories continue here across the eastern highlands through 11 p.m. this evening as the storm system begins to shift off into that region through the morning hours here. This is a depiction of the storm progression from this morning. We'll wait for the loop to reset here right now, but that was the brunt of the precipitation and has it pushing off into the eastern highlands here pretty rapidly through 9 a.m. this morning. We are expecting an additional accumulation of snow today, probably not 4 to 6 inches up here in the central mountains, probably more like in the range of 1 to 4 inches here across the central mountains, but certainly 4 to 8 inches here, additional accumulation across the eastern highlands, which will bring us to a storm total of beginning yesterday afternoon through this evening of 5 to 10 inches here within the central mountains, and certainly 6 to 10 inches here across the eastern highlands. Probably looking at some higher accumulations at elevations above 7,500 feet, maybe close to a foot in those regions. But the brunt of the area seeing advisory level snowfalls through the day today. We are expecting a little wind as that system begins to shift east of the region. You'll see across the central mountains winds becoming northwest, but here within the Snake River Plain, certainly continuing out of the west throughout a good portion of the day today, and fairly gusty. We are looking at wind gusts here of 20 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Things clear out overnight tonight, working our way into Tuesday as a ridge develops across the region. But just upstream, we saw this yesterday in yesterday's charts as well, but a fairly weak disturbance should trail into the region on Wednesday. Yesterday's progs showed that producing very little, if anything, in terms of precipitation as it moved through the Great Basin. And this morning's progs were showing at least some light snowfall across the area on Wednesday with a very fast-moving system. We really have to wait till we get out later this week. I got a loop here of the storm track starting Thursday. Very, very shallow ridge across the region. Very moist flow coming in over the top of the ridge into southeast Idaho and continuing into the weekend to give us some fairly decent precipitation totals. I've got a 3-day running loop here of the 24-hour precipitation amounts. If you just added them up, you would get upwards of an inch of liquid precipitation here in the central mountains and eastern highlands, which over a 3-day period could see about a foot of extra snow here running into next weekend. So once again, snow decreasing across the central mountains this morning. Moderate snow showers continuing across the eastern mountains through this evening. In both areas, we have a winter weather advisory ongoing. We'll see a mix of rain from Burley to Pocatello this morning, and perhaps a mix of rain and snow from Blackfoot northward today. We may see pockets of freezing rain, especially across the Arco Desert this morning and maybe some of the internal valleys of the eastern highlands. And then our next round of storms looks like it shows up late Thursday into Friday and continues through the weekend. That's all I had for you here this morning. If you had any comments or questions, please give us a call here at the number on the screen. Thank you.